watch it, as usual, feel free to hit the thumbs up if you want to support your boy. And if you are new, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more ASMR news content. With that being said, let's get into the video. Here are the latest news of the Russia and Ukraine situation. And I am afraid it's not good news. The Russian President Vladimir Putin told his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron on Thursday, which is today, that he would plow on with his war in Ukraine, undaunted by international sanctions or threats, forcing an Élysée official. Élysée is a palace in France. Forcing an Élysée official to conclude, quote unquote, "We expect that the worst is yet to come." Paris says Putin initiated the 1.5 hour long exchange, but then did not make any specific recommendations to Macron. Instead, the Russian leader insisted there would be continuity in the conflict at the pace he wished for. Putin said the operations were based on the refusal of Ukrainians to put in place the Minsk agreements. Macron then responded to Putin, according to the official of course, that he was committing a serious error and that he was telling himself stories. Following the call, the Élysée official told the reporters that France was prepared to toughen sanctions against Russia. Bro, when they gonna realize that these sanctions are not gonna work? I don't know, man. So far, Putin does not look like he's backing down, and he clearly does not care about any of those sanctions. He has a goal in mind, and he looks like he's not gonna stop until he achieves it. Or, they have some sort of agreement or something. But from what I can tell, these sanctions are not working, and they're definitely not stopping him. But anyways, who am I to tell? I'm just a fat guy from a third world country. But anyways, here is what the French official said after the call. Today, we have clearly established that the seriousness of what is at stake requires us to strengthen sanctions and to accept the price of sanctions. We cannot let President Putin believe that he will get Ukraine at a lesser cost. After that, President Putin did a very lengthy speech, which I'm gonna be reading in a second. It's quite long, but I believe it's very important because so you get to have an idea of what's going on each side. I could not find this speech in the form of text, by the way. I had to watch it in Russian, translate it, and write it down as I'm hearing it. So it took me quite some time. But anyways, let's read this stuff. He said, "They are bringing more arms to these areas, thus taking foreign citizens hostage, including thousands of young students. Students who were studying in Ukraine were held captive in Kharkiv train station. More than 100 Indian students were held in the train station, and neo-Nazis also fired on Chinese students in Kharkiv, and 2 of them were wounded. I would like to repeat that hundreds of foreigners would like to leave these combat zones, but they are not allowed to do so. I'm just gonna stop right here and talk about like my Moroccan friends who were studying in Ukraine when they tried to leave, because as I said in a previous video, Morocco sent like planes to Ukraine, so all the Moroccan students there and all the Moroccan citizens basically can hop in the plane and come back to Morocco, so they can avoid getting involved in these tragic events. And the friends that I talked to, they told me they indeed faced some resistance from Ukraine when they tried to leave. They were told by their Ukrainian universities that they're gonna be dropped, like their student visa will be terminated if they leave. And they were told that nothing is gonna happen, there is nothing to worry about, everything is under control, no need to leave, stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. That was before all of this took place. That was when stuff was just rumored, nothing actually happened at the time. But yeah, anyways, but after that, after explosions and stuff, obviously they can't leave because the Russian forces, they destroyed airports and yeah. Anyways, just wanted to say that. Let's continue with the speech here. It is suggested that they cross the combat zone and make their way to Poland, which would be dangerous. Our soldiers have supplied corridors in all the combat areas to allow for the passage of evacuees, foreign evacuees in particular. And once again, I would underscore that Ukraine is prohibiting the evacuation of these foreigners. In fact, they tell the foreigners to address the authorities from their own countries, rather than address the authorities from the Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The neo-Nazis behave even worse with their own citizens. They are using them as human shields. We have seen that there are inhabitants that are being housed in buildings where cannons are being kept in the ground and snipers in the roofs. Only fascists behave in such an inhumane way. Once again, our soldiers are doing everything to avoid human loss, in particular the loss of a foreign individual living in Ukraine. All soldiers taking part in this special part operation in Ukraine, there will be over 7 million rubles. There will be a monthly indemnization for all the families of those fighting in this combat. Let me convert rubles, 7 million rubles to dollars, just so you have an idea. Russian rubles to USD. Alright, 7 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's $63,000. Okay. All wounded soldiers will receive payments to pay for their care. If a soldier cannot work, for example, he will receive monthly payments. like to highlight there is Ukrainian soldiers in Donbass who are fighting along with Russia for the denazification, and so that the threat created by Western countries no longer exists, especially the nuclear threats on our borders. I would like you all to pay tribute to the fallen soldiers of Ukraine in a minute of silence. Then he proceeded to stay quiet in a minute of silence, of course. Finally, comrades, the special military operation is taking place as planned, and its objectives are being achieved with success and in a timely manner. Okay, so that was the speech by President Putin. It's getting quite messy, isn't it? It's getting quite messy. And the fact that he hinted from his call with the French president that the worst is yet to come does not look very promising. Anyways, hopefully everything will end soon and ends peacefully. With that being said, thank you so much guys for watching. God bless you and have a lovely